Hello everyone, welcome to BTV. It's October, the 1st of October, and we've got a treat for you. You can see the teams about to get into formation for Beeston versus the 11th ranked team in the world in the men's selection of Malaysia. I'm Andy Day, sitting beside me is Steve Musson. What have we got ahead of us this evening?
Good evening, Andy. Yeah, I think this is going to be a great game. It's a good opportunity from Beeston's point of view to play this standard of opposition, and I think from Malaysia's point of view, they're on this tour at the moment and they want to get as much match practice as they can, and the setup for an evening game is absolutely perfect.
Indeed, the sun has just set in the distance, the clouds are out, the lights are fully on, and the teams both wanted to get two different things out of the game. You can see the conditions are perfect down at pitch side. A couple of changes firstly to deal with on the Beeston side. They've named more than a match day 16 because it's not a full competition, but there's also a couple of changes. So Joe Paul has come in, and so has Sam Opula and Ben Collinson. So we've got one player that didn't make it from the weekend.
No, Josh Pavis is not here tonight, which is a bit of a shame, but I think he's away at the minute. But I'm pleased to see Sam Opula playing, because obviously the forwards and the way that Beeston's attack play goes, last year had a super season, particularly towards the end of the season, and I'm glad that he's back in the lineup.
Indeed. And also Malaysia, I say the 11th ranked team in the world, some great names in their squad that is currently touring the UK.
Yeah, they've. There is some real talent in this side. I mean, they've got players who have played for a long time, because it's quite an old side in lots of ways. But short corner flicking talent. They're a quick side. This will not be slow by any stretch of the imagination. Very fit. So I think we'll see an attacking game from start to finish. Really.
Well, it's good to see. I was talking to the coach of Malaysia, Arul Anthony. Or Salvaraj, as depending on who you talk to, yeah. But he just wants the team to get some game time.
Yes.
And the games that they've had have been very tough ones. They've selected, and I think it's an honour for Beeston to be chosen on this tour as well, because there's international teams that they're playing, as well as club sides.
That's right. Well, I think the idea that you get this mix of games when you're on a tour like this is excellent. I mean, to be able to play Surbiton was great for them. Tough fixture, awful conditions when that was played, and Surbiton ran out 2-1 winners in that. And then their game against Old Georgians, 2-2 draw, so a good battle for them as well. And similarly with Hampstead and Westminster, for that to be a 10-goal thriller and a 5-5 draw at the end was excellent. So it must be great practice for them.
So you can see Beeston in their chain shirts of white, black and white from top to bottom. Malaysia in an unfamiliar blue kit. We usually see them in the Speedy Tigers in that bright amber that they play.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
Our umpires in the middle, Harry Collinson and Jim Wakeland in the green. And it's more players than usual. in that middle of the field, so I'm not going to run through the player names. We'll introduce you to the players as we go along. What we don't know yet, because it was quite a late arrival from the team, is the squad that's with us from Malaysia today.
No, I think there'll be some familiar names in there. I know that Othman, the goalkeeper, has been somebody who I think they will probably stick with. That's Hafiz has been having a great time on tour, and I think they look to him a bit for stuff in the future. And then the old head there, the 107 goals from Razi Rahim, who's a bit of a force to reckon with when it comes to penalty corners. Indeed,
if you're new to the sport, even though he's registered as a defender or known as a defender, when it comes to penalty corner time, he is lethal.
He is. Yeah, Beeston will not want to be giving away penalty corners if they can help it.
Indeed. Looking again, it's very bright down on pitch side. Beeston in their huddle, umpires doing the final checks and making sure that we're all set and ready to go. It is a beautiful thing to see hockey played in an evening match, and hopefully we can do that justice with our commentary and analysis this evening.
Well, it'd be quite nice to see more fixtures in the evenings. I think that it helps people to get to watch, and we're obviously trying within the game to get more spectators to games, and it works in evenings, I think, and people can get there after work. Nice way to finish off the day.
Indeed, or even start the weekend. And you can start the weekend with us here on BTV. So Beeston are ready, and already we know that they want a better start than they offered against Wimbledon on Sunday.
Well, I think there's some nerves in that, really. I mean, it's been a difficult start for Beeston with the 2 losses. I particularly think that they spent too much time in defensive patterns at the weekend, and I think this is an opportunity with nothing to lose and no league threat at all for them to really have a go and see if they can get this forward line functioning a bit, get their press a bit higher up the pitch, and really take it on.
And it will be in Malaysia to start, and we are off and underway. And already there's a good zip about the movement of the ball, and also the chasing from Beeston from the word go.
Yes,
more intensity already.
Definitely, I think they're going to have to do that. They need that sort of play for the league, so this is a great opportunity. Beeston didn't have the best of pre-season preps, and it took them a while to get the squad together. But with a game like this, it's a great opportunity for them.
Malaysia in the blue shirts playing from right to left on your screen. And already, starting as he finished on Sunday, a very combative start from number 4, Richard Alexander from Beeston. He's trying to run through a couple of players, but Malaysia get the benefit of the whistle and are not hanging around at all. No. In possession, Mio is already into the circle, and they've got a free hit in a dangerous position. But look at the white shirts defending the circle from the word go.
Yeah, I think they've got the message through the Beeston coaches that they're going to have to work hard because this will be quick. From start to finish, really. So Richard Alexander, with his international experience, will know that they need to match the tempo very quickly.
It's difficult to believe. There's just been 60 seconds played. There's so much happened already. So Beeston moving through the gears and also maintaining possession, which is something that they did to a point, but then found it very easy to be turned over in possession.
Yes, they did. Yeah, Wimbledon were very good at that, and they won't want to see that happen tonight.
Pace again on the right-hand side from Malaysia, trying to get in. That's a decent stop, a well-timed interception, and turnover again. Beeston come away with the ball.
Yeah, we talked about this a bit at the weekend, didn't we? The number of times that Beeston were able to make the tackle, but then very quickly turn the ball over, and that makes life very difficult for you to set your defence and your shapes. So they'll be keen not to let that happen again.
There's a good sharpness about this, and also I'm impressed by the start of Malaysia. They've had a very, it's not to say a tough time, because it's been a difficult time for the Malaysian squad. They've not been able to train as a unit, so they're using this entire tour as a blowing the cobwebs out.
Yeah,
session.
Definitely, and they've got their youngsters, the under-21s, overdoing a tour as well in preparation for the World Youth Cup. So it's a good opportunity for them as well.
Nice idea. Looking for number 18, Will Prentice for Beeston, but it's gone out of play. There's the games that we've seen already or have read about. So it was a trip to St George's College to play Old Georgians. That was a 2-2 draw. That was on the 26th. 2 days later, trip to Surbiton, when Surbiton were the winners by 2-1. And then a day later, over to Padrec to see Hampstead and Westminster. That one finished 5-5. Yes, so goals are in this Malaysia side.
Oh, definitely. It's
in the circle they go already. That's been shepherded out of play, and that's decent defensive work using the space well.
It's hard to track back like that and stay low. And at the point where the Malaysian striker tried to find the foot, the defender was in good shape. So of course it hasn't hit the foot, and there's no penalty corner. And away come Beeston with the ball.
Nice to see so many people are down on the pitch side. We've already seen as well on the balcony, which is behind us, before we close the door on the chapel, a real buzz around the place as well. That balcony's full.
Yeah.
As Beeston look to make their way towards the boulevard end and starting to press a little bit, and that's good skill to come out of pressure from Malaysia.
Yeah, quick layoff passes by the Malaysian team, and the players have fast hand skills, and that'll be exciting to see as the game progresses.
Azrae with a long crossfield ball delivered expertly to the far side. Malaysia building from the base and trying to pull the forwards around. This is composed stuff. Razi.
Yeah,
that's the
first aerial. It's,
17.
Plenty of height in their team. They'll get players forward quickly, prepared to use the aerial ball to get beyond lines, and we've just seen a couple of aerials already from them, so I'm sure there'll be plenty more.
That's the player to watch. 17 is goal scorer supreme, Razi Rahim, but acting more of a playmaker. So, oh, what a touch that is.
Another really good tackle there. Robbie Gleeson prepared to pass that ball in tight areas. It's outletting is when you're trying to get out from the back in tight areas like this, and the Beeston trying hard to get those passes to connect in tight areas around the back.
I'm not sure if there was a stick involved there, but there was certainly a slip.
Yeah.
But play is allowed to continue. That's gone through everybody. That's a touch for number 7, Zul, for Malaysia on the right-hand side, playing the ball in towards the circle. It's a beautiful evening, and autumn is upon us, but there's still the warmth in the air, but it will get colder as we get through the game.
It's ideal, really, the conditions tonight.
Robbie Gleeson getting a touch there. There's a little bit of turn on the gas, and there goes Connor Sign looking to inject a little bit more pace down the right-hand side.
Well, Beeston will be keen to match the performances that Hampstead and Westminster and Surbiton have given against the Malaysians. Both of those teams in the EHL this weekend over in Brashat in Belgium. So they'll be in good form for that. And so Beeston will be keen to sort of match that and show that they're worthy opponents.
I think the first goal is quite important in this game, even though it's a friendly. But I think it's very important in this game in the context of the wider season.
Yeah. 2 or 3 players in the Beeston team have played against Malaysia before. There's Suki Panasol on the ball there. His experience, his international experience has seen him play against them before. Gareth Griffiths at junior level has played against them, and I'm sure Richard Alexander must have done in his time playing as well. So
Mahan over in the corner. By the way, I watched that Sultan of Johor match on the tram on the phone a couple of years ago. That was that's watching sport in unusual places. Let us know the most unusual place you've ever watched the hockey match at official BHC. Get the conversation going. As Malaysia step in, there's Nick. That doesn't quite come off.
Yeah, Robbie Gleeson has watched that carefully and good
run. This is, let's break off. And this is a chance for Samapula to take a touch. Goalkeeper comes out and does very well with a stick to place the ball out of harm's way.
Yeah. Keeper's very quick. I watched him in the warm-up earlier, and there's a lot of athleticism in the keepers, and Samapula needed to be quicker moving the ball there to get round the keeper.
Presentable opportunity, and that's what we didn't see enough of in the first half on the weekend.
Yep.
Although play continues, Najib laying the ball back. Amin was the player there, just looking around. He's in the centre of your field, number 12, 26 years old. First time he's played represented Malaysia.
Yes, yeah. I know they've looked for a while at how they can get quite a younger side together, because it has been an old side for a while. So there's still a few old heads there.
This is space opening up, and that's nicely into the circle. Play continues, or umpire's arms are out wide. I couldn't tell if it had gone over the line or whether it was play on, that one.
Yeah, I think it's a couple of times they've got into those high areas and it's gone off the back of the pitch. So, but quite nicely marshalled in those areas by the Beeston defence at the moment. So they're going to need to stay on that.
Just in case you were wondering, internationally you would be playing 4 quarters of 15 minutes. However, today it is 4 quarters of 17.5. So if you're wondering why the clock will continue onwards, by the way, I'll break off as Malaysia look to move down the left-hand side. This is nice
skills
from Zul. Taking a touch in the circle, whipped out of harm's way. Sideline ball.
Again, good hand skills to get into that part of the D. Not a lot on for the forward. Tried to find a foot and well defended. Oh,
ambitious ball. And that was Faze with the crossfield ball to, I think, someone he thought was there.
Yeah, bit of lift on it and difficult to control.
Beeston not taking the quick one and allowing more support to come in. So it looks like they've got a bit of a plan for this position here. So build, maintain possession.
Yeah, gradually a little bit higher than they were playing at the weekend. Oh,
that was a crunching ball into the foot. As unfortunate that is for the Malaysian player, that's a foul against him.
Kai Aiking in there just lifting the ball a little bit. He's got away with that because I think it was probably just a bit below the knee. This is where I think Beeston needs to just be a little bit quicker in the build-up. They've got plenty of room. There we go, it's into the D.
And that's gone the Malaysian side's way. Samapula wearing 13.
Yeah, I think talking to the Beeston coaches after the Sunday's game against Wimbledon, I think they felt generally that the side was too deep defensively most of the time, and it wasn't until the last 20 minutes that they started to cause Wimbledon pressures at the back, and that was because they were getting much higher and much more committed. Quite a bit of right side attack for Malaysia at the moment, so Just a bit of care there, because that was the area the open play goals came for Wimbledon at the weekend, so they'll need to make sure that they're secure. Left midfield, left back.
Big appeal, and that's the first penalty corner of the game.
Yeah,
it's gone the way of Malaysia.
Yeah, clumsy tackle, stepping in the way of the player without really trying to make a proper tackle, and it's turned itself into a corner.
So you
So
consider involvement. Razi Rahimi is
Yes.
their player involved. And you notice how he played the ball and then stepped back into defence, even though the ball's in a very good position
Yes,
for Malaysia.
yeah, yes.
That's good
Discipline,
knowing how the
yeah.
games. Yes.
Well,
So-
here we go. So Simon Hujwan will know what to expect here, I think.
Also, there's Najmi, who is 25, keeping a close eye on this. I think we might stick with this angle and then come back to this on the replay. That might be a good idea to keep that. So this is one of our new innovations on BTV. We've got a nice low camera so we can keep an eye on the delivery. Let's keep an eye on it from this angle, and then we'll watch it on the replay from the other angle if we can. That's just waiting to make sure everyone's in position.
Just trying to see who's prepared to run out number one here.
I think maybe we'll switch back to the other camera for this one. There we go,
That's
the wider
better,
view.
yeah.
So we've got around the edge, we've got 17 and 25. So Razi Rahim is 17, 25. The other player that mentioned, Najmi. Both defenders, but both skillful with
Yes,
the dead
yeah.
ball situation. And that's a good pad on it, and that is the opening goal. I think it's gone in off the goalkeeper.
Yeah, for all the world like Simon Hujwan in the Beeston goal, got his hand on that, so it's.
And what a celebration that is. Razi Rahim adds to his goal tally. Well, let's see what happened for sure, because I heard the pad. So what happened to the ball?
I think it's gone in off him. Yeah, I think he's padded it down with his hand, and it's unfortunately that with the pace that was on it, it's gone into the net.
So Malaysia 1-0 up. As I said, the first goal is quite important, so Beeston have chasing the game a tiny bit here. Brandon Andrews is 16. Jacob Reed is 15, just at the bottom of your picture. That's good battling and good defence from Malaysia. They're a bit penned in here, but that's a nice cultured ball for Azrai.
Yeah, I think that I was going to say that looks like a Beeston ball to me. So good position here. This is, somehow they need to get this into a dangerous area, transferring into the D as quick as possible. That pace is not good enough there. That's a bit of a miss.
That has worked out really well for Beeston. A couple of things going wrong for Malaysia in defence. So let's see if Beeston can make the most of this opportunity. So they've decided to build, sweep the ball, and that's neatly taken. Aikinga scored at the weekend. Good control on that quick ball. And
well, again, it'd be worth Beeston trying to pick up some corners, because here we go in the D.
In the circle, and that's turned towards the goal. Goalkeeper comes and makes a save.
A little bit more aggression, maybe. That ball fell loose just in front of the middle of the goal. I think a little bit more aggression from who I couldn't see who the forward was, but if it got in there was a chance.
I've not been able to work out which is the starting goalkeeper. Is it Hafiz or is it Adrian? But we'll know that soon enough. We can give credit where it's due there.
Yes,
that was an important interception. Sometimes it's easy to think, well, that ball's not going anywhere near the goal, but your job is to keep it out of harm's way.
Yeah.
So that touch is important.
And keepers nowadays are just as mobile as outfield players, and you have to be quick, because otherwise they will close you down. Oh, a little bit of
Pressure
no
coming
obvious
in.
pass, and the pressure's there. It's held on to the
Big
ball.
appeal from Malaysia, but it's gone Beeston's way. That's kept in right on the edge of play. Although possession is gifted away in the middle of the field, and there's a bit of a coming together and a few handshakes later on, I'm
Forwards
sure.
getting really high for Malaysia. Nicely taken.
Been a couple of well-timed stops.
Yes.
And that's probably, we're going to see a card here. No, I think all is good. That was a long blow on the whistle, and when you see a player hit the deck like that, tends to be a card. But
it tends to be more tolerant in friendlies.
very true. I haven't reset my expectations yet.
Well, good hand skills here. trying to find their way quickly out of their own half.
Furhan is 13. He was there with a nice turn, keeping the possession with Malaysia. And the blue, they're attacking from right to left, so they're defending the goal to the right, the boulevard end. They're a goal to the good. Razi Rahim with the opener. And as we get closer to the end of 15 minutes being played, it is 17.5-minute quarters.
Yes. Quite happy with their hand skills and stick work. They're very, very good and quick on with the hand skills. And a little error from Beeston creeping in.
Just ahead of the stick, and the weight of the player was against him there.
Yeah.
And so he couldn't adjust in time. So Malaysia keep going. So time to take the hand off the stick there and direct the play. That's that tells you that there's not enough pressure coming on. But it has been won back, and there's a little more about this zip.
Yeah, there's better ball pace from Beeston than there was at the weekend, and they've got to turn this into progression. And the number of times they can cross the 25 and get into the D, the better.
Jacob Reed involved and fighting
no
and
time
the pace as well. Coming in, Syed, who's taken it a long way for Malaysia. There is no support at the moment. That is a nice turn, but there's no support. But the whistle has gone the way of the attacking player. That was very, very nice from Syed.
They've scrambled that defence quite well, Beeston, but puts Malaysia in quite a strong position on the pitch here. Player right on the goal line next to Simon Hujwan.
Mio with the crossfield ball. It's with Ramadan now, and then played in from the right-hand side, bouncing ball. That isn't quite the trap that was in his mind, is it?
No, it's so important. Jacob Reed there's just let that ball come off his stick. It's got to be a clean take, keep it tight, and then you're safe. Deflections, teams feed off deflections.
60 seconds in this quarter to go. Malaysia, that's a bit of a shove, wasn't it? That's Eddie Harper letting his opponent know that he was
yes. there. See, again, the tempo that Malaysia are playing with has forced Beeston back a little bit too deep. And they don't want to settle into this pattern for long, really, because it will lead to opportunities for corners.
Muir in possession now. He's given it to 17, Razi Rahim, the goal scorer. Things are starting to stick along the Malaysia left at the moment. We're starting to see that quick the passes between Muir and Razi Rahim. But they're happy to see this quarter out without putting too much pressure on. They know they're going to go in at the end of this quarter, a goal to the good.
They've got good possession at the minute, and
there is the end of the quarter.
Speedy first quarter. I think Beeston played quite well in parts there. Just drifted off a little bit in the last 2 or 3 minutes. Faced with a little bit more speedy pressure and attacking skill from Malaysia.
Well, they're not known as the speedy Tigers for nothing.
No,
Malaysia.
That's right.
So there we have it. End of quarter one. Beeston 0, Malaysia 1. The goal coming from the converted penalty corner from the prolific Razi Rahim. 1-0 Malaysia lead on BTV. Welcome back to BTV. It's an evening match to bring you. Lights are on, and it is a bit of a test at the moment for Beeston. They're a goal down at the end of the first 17.5 minutes. Malaysia, the 11th ranked side in the world in the men's competition, they're ahead. And a penalty corner from Razi Rahim, the difference. So what would that chat been like out there?
Well, I think they'll be relatively pleased with the defensive work they've done for open play, bits and bobs. But of course, it was always a bit predictable. If they're going to give away a corner, it would be difficult. As it happened, the penalty corner, it wasn't the best of corners, but I think it was deflected in off the keeper's left glove. And so I think that was probably go down a bit of a technical error, really. But they've just got to be careful that they don't let Malaysia get the upper hand all of the time, because their speed improved in the last 5 minutes of that first quarter, and Beeston sagged back into a deeper defensive position, and it didn't really suit, I don't think.
Just a tiny bit under hit from Razi Rahim, and then Beeston managed to get into that, and Panesar did well to not only take the ball forward but earn a free hit after he was challenged there. So it's an aerial ball towards the edge of the circle, but that's been mopped up by Malaysia and knocked out of harm's way. Sideline ball for Beeston, but in a better position on the field.
Yeah, Beeston got to find ways of getting the ball into danger areas. They're in the D 2 or 3 times. They're going to need to look for corners and if possible, try and create some kind of open play shot opportunities.
Long corner and moved quickly. Eichinger plays the ball into the circle. It's been knocked away. Racing towards it is Eddie Harper. And it's gone Malaysia's way.
Yeah. Turning those little moments into possession, very important, particularly in these areas, because Malaysia could quite easily find their way out and then they're back in control. You need to keep the pressure for as long as possible.
Taking a little time, Malaysia, but that's okay.
Plenty of space again for them at the back. It allows them to just almost go to 2 deep defenders. They're pushing their half-backs higher. Not too much pressure from Beeston at the minute.
On possession is Najmi. And then receives it again. Now, the speed starts to come in. That's a good touch from Eddie Harper, and he's on possession now. That's a good ball, and it's
here we go.
Surely Griffiths is out on the right-hand side, but no, that's not the option. Bit of a tangle, but Beeston push it down the right-hand side. Taking it forward is Connor Syne. Connor Syne will lay it off, I'm sure. He decides to go the long way round, and that's gone out of play off his stick.
Yeah,
so
shame something's not come out of that. There was a few points on that run where that ball could have gone into the D, I think, and that's when you can start to create problems for the defence.
Furhan, number 13, with his back to us, has time to have a look around, decides he's going to carry the ball forward and then spread it to the left. Najmi, that's a nice ball down the left-hand side. Asright plays the ball into the circle, but it's gone straight off the side of the goal, so it's a Beeston defensive hit out.
Difficult technique to get the crossing from there, and I thought that was possibly going to work for them, but not quite executed. Here we go, a bit more space for Beeston.
That was a nice touch just to avoid the stick that was placed in harm's way from a Beeston perspective. That's a nice touch. That's awareness.
Yeah. Malaysia's defensive shape is stopping Beeston progressing these outlet moves through the middle further forward, and they end up passing back, and then they're into this back 4 transfer work, which is not what they want to do. They need to be attacking a bit more.
Pressure you saw from number 3 Sumantri a few moments ago, but not really. It was pressing without being right on top of the defenders.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, giving themselves a chance. That they cause the player on the ball to think twice, to be a bit concerned about the pressure, and then if there is any kind of a slip up, they can step in quite easily.
Amin.
Good skills. There we go. Now this is where it should be a little bit sharper there. There's opportunity. Ball had jumped up off the player's stick. It could have been closed down a bit more.
Acres of green space on the field. We weren't seeing this at the weekend. Interplay on the left-hand side.
Quite happy to play into tight positions and trust in their basics and their skills.
Razi Rahim nicely shifting his weight.
Easy to move the ball around, not panicked.
Some of the players in the squad this isn't a full international, so I'm sure this hasn't updated over time, but he's got 264 international caps.
Yes,
34 years old. He knows what he's doing.
He does, yes, that's
But,
right.
On a wider point, there's a couple of well-capped players in here. So there's 264 for Razi Rahim, 242 for the 31-year-old Mahan.
Yes,
And then a little bit further down the line, in the midfield, Faiz on 145, Mir on 128, Farhan on 154.
Yeah, a lot of experience.
So this isn't just the novice national team having a run out. This is the full selection.
That's right. A lot of these players familiar with each other. They're playing at probably 2 or 3 of the sides in the Malaysian top league. There are 8 teams in that top league, and I think at the moment the majority of these players come from the top 2 sides.
And there's a range of teams represented at THT, University of Kuala Lumpur, Maybank, and TMB and THT, and those are the full squad.
Yes,
that's the selection of teams that it's come from. Here go Beeston. Have they been? Yes, they've got possession and real. Wait, let's just wait and see if we got a penalty corner here. That was. I think the aggression of Richard Alexander's paid off there.
Good restart, and Malaysian defence not dropping off quickly enough. The umpire read that as a deliberate intent to slow things down, and he's awarded a corner.
So he gets the free hit here, which isn't the one that we're interested in.
No.
It's the restart here, probably not 5 metres,
yeah,
I
that's
suspect.
right, yeah, closed it down too quickly, and Richard Alexander was aware that could be a possibility, and it's worked out. So this would be a good point now to try to get back on even terms.
In the middle of your screen, he scored at the weekend, Kai Eichinger, Germany's EHL winner in the Beeston
Yes,
lineup.
that's right, yeah. Didn't think he was a particularly good short corner flicker, but from Rottweiss he's got a couple of top flight names there ahead of him.
There's the trap, and that's
there we go.
The equaliser. We thought that might happen, and it's exactly what has got in. Perfect. It's 1-1 here at Nottingham Hockey Centre. Beeston 1, Malaysia 1.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because the discussion with Kai was whether or not he was up for taking the corners, and as I say, he didn't think he was because of the competition from Christopher Reur and Vink van der Meerden at Rottweiss, but he looks all right to me.
The goalkeeper did very well to get towards it. He seemed to dive an awful long way.
Yes, plenty of power on it. That was the key.
So we are all square, and that's it's good to have a great penalty corner finisher.
Yes,
but more goals from open play, I think, is the call for Beeston.
Yeah, and a bit of wisdom from Richard Alexander there to get that ball in play and catch the Malaysian defence out, and which is why they got the corner in the first place. So
no pun intended here, but I think Malaysia will feel a bit stung by that. That was easy to defend.
Yes, yeah.
Not the penalty corner. That just be furthest away.
That's right.
Further away. So we are all square, and Richard Alexander
having a great game today.
Something's must have had something in his quarter-time water.
40 years of age and looks like a spring chicken.
Very, very busy-looking player.
Yeah, always has been. Yes, he's always been a difficult opponent.
Nearest to the ball now is 19. Joe Waterston so close to getting on the end of that. In possession, laying it off, is 27 Shafiq.
That sort of situation we've just seen, 2 of the Beeston players there, in my opinion, could have closed down a lot more aggressively, give the Malaysian defence problems, or at least make them rush a little bit more. Yeah, nicely found, that pass nicely connected. Good tempo from both teams, and I think Beeston are matching this quite nicely at the minute.
Indeed, I think they've worked each other out after 25 minutes a tiny bit. But that said, this is the furthest Malaysia have been down the field in a little while, and that's very tidy.
Skills. Gareth Griffiths there, just using his own hand skills to get out of trouble, but a bit of an easy turnover. Well, if nothing else, the goal will give Beeston confidence to have a go. I mean, another corner would be great news. A little bit more possession and holding possession higher up the pitch, I think, would help Beeston no end.
By the way, 2 goals and 2 goals from penalty corners.
Yes,
Worth noting. Here go Malaysia down the left-hand side. Neat ball into the circle. That's just come off the blade of the stick the wrong way, but it's still in possession. Has that been taken
It's just
out?
gone over the back line,
Yes.
I think, yes.
So it's quite a punishing schedule for Malaysia. I know that they've agreed to it, so it's obviously what they
It's
wanted.
what they want, yes.
Yeah. So this is the 4th game on their tour. So then after this, it's the trip to Northern Ireland to Lisnagarvey.
Lisnagarvey, that's right.
Then off to Wales, 2 games with Wales, one in at the Wales Hockey Centre. Then they're playing again at Reading against Wales, and then 2 games against France back at Wales Hockey Centre. So that's very, very, very tough schedule. So there's 4 international games in Wales and Reading, and also those 2 games also in Lisnagarvey against Ireland.
Good planning for them, really. I mean, they have said that they need a tour like this. They need to be busy. They want to look at the youngsters as well and see who might progress into the senior setup. Real intent on their part to improve things and try and get beyond that sort of 10th, 11th position that they've had for so long.
Here he goes again. All hustle and bustle from Richard Alexander. Sometimes you can recognise a player just from their movement.
Yeah.
And it makes my life a lot easier. That
he's very distinctive, isn't he?
Sometimes you can recognise a player by the way they run. And that's a nice attempted ball. And that's fallen kindly. Now that's into the circle. Real movement. And that's a real nice attempt. And that's Adrian in the Malaysia goal by the way, number 19. And he had to come and be alert to that. It's a long corner.
Yes, he did, yeah. We were saying earlier, the keeper's mobility, very crucial there.
Ooh, that's an early ball that's been turned towards the goal, and that's a new idea. That's a new thing for Malaysia to think about.
Yeah. And it's better that Beeston are doing these kind of things because it's been missing in the first 2 league games. Certainly the number of times they've got to the D has been very limited.
This is shaping up to be a good second half. We still have 7 minutes left of this first half to bring you on BTV, but I think, if anything, this will slow down a touch towards the end of the half.
Yes, yeah. That's exactly the sort of pressure we were talking about. That was much better. Beeston haven't actually won the ball, but they worked hard and there was chances to get it, and it'll be something like that gives them the breakaway that they need.
Nashby, who's gone from the left-hand side towards the middle there to get things going again. That's decent stepping in, and that's a bit of a miss, and there's a turnover in a very promising position for Malaysia, but Beeston are right on it, and there's players hitting the deck all over the place.
Just shows you how clued up you've got to be on your basics. The ball can be taken off you if you just take your stick off the ball for a split second. It can be gone.
Panasar plays it out to Alexander, and Alexander's really on his bike again here, and I think he's